Hey guys, welcome to Gadget First. Today we've got the full review of the Huawei Ascend P1. This is Huawei's first phone in the UK. Quite a new market to them. They've been used to the Chinese market where they're quite popular, but in the UK market they're relatively unknown. But a pretty interesting device here. One of the thinnest phones in the world. I mean, at its thinnest point it is the thinnest phone in the world. But it does taper off into thicker bits here. I think it's 6.59mm thick at its thinnest point, so a very thin phone, but as you can see it does come out here at the speaker and here at the camera. Nothing too much though, a really nice device to hold. You've got a nice soft touch feel, which as you can see does pick up a little bit of fingerprints and does make your hands feel a little bit unpleasant and clammy if you're holding it for ages, but it's nothing too much. On the front we've got this 4.3-inch QHD display, which is very similar to the display we saw on the Motorola Razr I, and it's also really similar to the HTC One S. So on the front we have a 0.3 megapixel camera, as well as all the sensors, proximity sensor, light sensor, all that good stuff. On the top there's the headphone jack, micro USB charging port. This takes a standard SIM card. As you can see, nothing micro or nano about that, just a normal standard SIM. And on the side we've got the power and unlock button and the micro SD slot there, which supports up to 32GB micro SD cards. On the left you've got the volume rocker, and on the bottom you've got the microphone as well as a secondary microphone on the back here for noise cancellation. The 8 megapixel camera has a flash and has full autofocus as well as full HD, which is 1080p video recording, and you've got this nice silver chromey effect there, which looks quite nice. In the hand the device feels really light, definitely one of the lightest phones I've ever held. But if I had to complain about one thing, it would be it feels a little bit hollow, like they could have fit more a larger battery in there or more gear in there. It does feel and sound a little bit hollow, but it's nothing too much, adds to the lightness of the phone. And one thing I can say about the design of this phone is it can handle a good knock or two. This got knocked out of my hand accidentally a couple of weeks ago and went probably about 6 foot in the air, came back down and was absolutely fine. It literally just bounced. It was amazing. Absolutely brilliant phone. The speaker here on the front of the device is really loud and clear. On phone calls I never had a problem making out what the person was saying. Cool quality as in my voice being transferred to them. My voice wasn't as clear as I'd hoped, but it wasn't anything too shabby either. And hopefully I think the noise cancellation microphone should have helped a little bit when you're in like a road for instance, or any kind of loud place. So let's unlock the phone, and you see this is their own lock screen. You can go up to get to the phone, left to go to messages, down to go to the camera, and right just to unlock. And it's a fairly standard Android experience. They haven't really diluted the experience with their own stuff at all, really. Very standard Android 4.0.4. What they have added is some quick toggles here, which you can quite simply just turn on and off different things very fast, and you can also get to the full settings like that. So they haven't really added much, and that's actually quite an advantage on a lot of phones nowadays, over a lot of phones nowadays, as it doesn't add loads of crap that you don't need. So nice job by Huawei there. Inside this you've got I think it's definitely a dual core. I think it's running at 1.2 GHz. Yeah, 1.2 GHz dual core processor, which means it's fairly snappy. If I open messaging, you can see stuff opens really nice and quick, and animations are nice and fluid. One thing I would say is it does have a little bit of stutter every now and then, but for the most part it's all good. The screen itself is really nice and vibrant. I'm not sure if this is on full brightness. I'll just go in and see. It's automatic, so let's turn it up to the max. Probably doesn't come across in your screen, I wouldn't expect it to. But colours are really nice and vibrant. Actually, yeah, it definitely doesn't come across in the screen. That orange looks white. But the screen is really vibrant. These reds and oranges especially come out of the screen really strongly. So brilliant display as far as colours are concerned. I'll just turn the brightness down so you can see it in the review a bit better. But the screen is only QHD. Oh, I say only, it's still quite a high resolution. But basically, the screen struggles to make text really crystal clear, as you can probably see here. It is also a pentile display, which means that basically you can see here text pixelates ever so slightly. But on the whole, if I open a picture, colours are reproduced really nicely and pictures themselves are actually really sharp, so nothing to worry about if you're just looking at photos, but text might be a little bit less crisp than on phones like the HTC One X, iPhone 5 and Galaxy S3 and phones like that, but definitely good either way. So yeah, Huawei haven't really added anything else. They've left you to it with the additional features. There's none whatsoever on here, apart from that toggle that I just showed. Internet browsing is nice and fast. If I go on to a really hard website for phones, is usually the bbc.co.uk. And scroll down. Oh, what? No, not BBC. BBC. Right, and then scroll down to the bottom. Go onto the desktop site. And I'll flip it into landscape. You can see really nice fluid animations. And it's a really nice web browsing device. One of the fastest I've seen on Android. Really nice panning around, nice and fast. You can see, just takes a split second to load, and new tabs are very easy to get to indeed. Multitasking is also very fluid. Press and hold the home button brings you to this multitasking display where you can go around all the apps that open, and you can tap on one to go back to that app, or you can just slide them across to close them. Something that the Huawei also excels in is its battery life. Really brilliant battery life. I've been able to get over 2 days out of this, so really remarkable battery life. But if you're going to be using it a bit more, you're probably going to get looking at maybe just over a day. So you're not going to be charging it every night if you're not going to be using it too much, but certainly better than most. Right then, so onto the camera. A slight change from the standard Android camera, but nonetheless pretty standard looking. So you've got the shutter button here and the switch between camera mode and video mode, and a link to the gallery down there. Now you pull this out into the screen there. Basically this allows you to have different shooting modes and different effects and all these kind of fun effects as well, and the actual settings such as the white balance and sensitivity. Now HDR, which is a feature that is quite common on phones now, quite popular among people. It's a little bit slow. If I press the camera button here, it will take a photo, and it has to process it for a little bit, as you can see there. But on the whole, it's actually quite a good effect. and you can see you get a lot of features: low light, panorama, beauty, smile, burst, HDR, group and single photos. So quite a powerful camera application as far as software is concerned. But photos themselves were a little lacking. Let's see if I take a photo of a desk chair. And here we go. Clicking on here. It looks fine from at the naked eye from a distance, but you zoom in and you do lose a lot of detail very fast, and there's quite a bit of noise, to be fair, and sometimes it struggles to focus. Like here, you can see it's quite a soft photo where it struggled to focus. So the camera's definitely not a strong point on the Huawei, but it's definitely good enough to take quick snaps. As far as an update to Jelly Bean is concerned, I've heard that an update is in the works and should be released on the phone quite shortly, maybe 2013. But there's no actual confirmation, but there are like betas going around and testing versions of the software going around. But I haven't installed that on here, so I can't share my thoughts on that just yet. But it'd be nice to get Jelly Bean. It would be definitely a brilliant device if it gets Jelly Bean. But at the moment, it doesn't really stack up too well against more competitive phones, such as the HTC One X, which can be had for around the same price. Both of these, this starts at about £20.50 per month, and the HTC One X also does, and the One X blows us out of the water completely on pretty much every single thing, like the display, the camera, the speed and the software don't really compare to the HTC One X. So I can't really recommend it on that front, but if you manage to find a good deal on it, it's really not a bad phone. And definitely if you're wanting something that's thinner, this is definitely much thinner than the HTC One X. So definitely quite a good device, but not quite as competitive as Huawei should have made it. But definitely a good first foray into the market from Huawei, and I look forward to seeing more of their phones. Thanks for watching.